Hello! As promised, here is the update on exactly how my Etsy shop did during the month of October. So as you can see, I'm in my statistics dashboard and I'm selecting a date range for October from the 1st through the 31st. I'm going to go ahead and click apply and bam, here we are. As you can see, it started off rather slow, but then seriously picked up towards the end of the month. And overall, my shop did a lot better this year than it has in previous years. It looks like I got just under 14,000 visits, about 400 orders, a little bit less, well, unless you count September. It looks like the conversion rate wasn't particularly stellar, but at least it wasn't completely abysmal either, at 2.8%. And I earned, well, my revenue was about $1,600. Now, of course, several $100s of that did go to Etsy for fees, processing fees, transaction fees, listing fees, and their marketing for off-site ads. So that definitely took a decent little chunk out of that, unfortunately. But that's just the cost of doing business. So in the first 2 years that I had this particular Etsy shop open, I made some sales, but not a huge number. This year I did more sales than I had done in the last 2 years combined. So I think adding a lot more new listings really helped with that. Pretty much doubled the number of listings that I had again this year. So quite a few of those definitely served me well, and I will definitely continue to devote a decent amount of time to this particular Etsy shop moving forward as well. If I go to my dashboard and select the entire year for how much I've done for statistics and revenue, then you can see it does go up a little bit, so a bit over 400 new orders this year total, and brings the grand total for revenue up to $1,800. And as you can see with a nice little year-over-year stat right here, that is over 100% more than what I did last year. And with the number of orders, almost 80% more orders this year than in previous years, while I got at least 50% more traffic, more views, more visits. So that was definitely really nice to see. Even added some freebies to my existing listings, so I'd be curious to know if that did help out a little bit. And thanks to these nice statistics, I did get the Star Seller badge for November, which is always nice to see. So I'd say that my Etsy shop for 2024 was very satisfactory. I'm certainly happy with the direction that this is going in, upward direction, fortunately. I will continue to add listings and improve so that for next season I will be able to do hopefully similar or much better numbers. And fortunately, I have been getting some more reviews for my Etsy shop, so that's always really helpful. This time I got some more reviews with photos, which I think are a ton more helpful than just the handful of words that you normally get. And although I did get one bad review, I was able to reach out to the customer who was just having technical difficulties. I was able to assist him, and then he went back and updated his review. So fortunately, my average did not tank because of one or two bad reviews. I was generally able to get them resolved. Fortunately, most shoppers on Etsy are relatively responsive, so that's usually not too big of an issue. Unlike on Amazon, where there's no way to easily contact the customer or anything like that to get them to update their review or solve their problem. So I do like that aspect of Etsy, even if there was a bit more customer service this year than I'd anticipated. But most of those were able to be resolved quite quickly and relatively easily. though in the future I might have to consider hiring a virtual assistant maybe to help with the customer service aspect of the shop, because if I'm at work and someone needs their digital file immediately, but I don't have access to my computer with all the files on it, that tends to be a bit of a problem. I did notice that Etsy had this payment processing issue this year that I hadn't seen in previous years, where I'd get a notification of a pending sale, but that there was some issue with the customer's payment, and then Etsy wouldn't deliver their files, even though they would say that the charge went through on their end. For some reason, it wasn't going through on Etsy's end, which did create a couple of hiccups. And I noticed that most of the time those charges would go through, but only after a few days. But since I am selling digital downloads, those people typically needed their digital download like right away. So that was a huge annoyance. Fortunately, it wasn't too many sales that had this issue, but there were enough. It did reoccur enough that I was kind of surprised to see this issue. I'm hoping whatever it was, Etsy will be able to fix it, because I don't remember seeing this particular one in previous years. Drop a comment down below if you also have an Etsy shop and you maybe have happened to see this payment processing issue with them at all. I'm curious if anyone else has experienced this as well. Anyways, that's my fun update for how this year went for this particular Etsy shop. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, happy designing!